Today, we are going to play God. One by one, we're going to make every single planet in the solar system vanish. Poof, gone. And we'll see what actually breaks. Then, for the grand finale, we'll switch off the sun itself. Let's start small. You'd assume that erasing a whole planet would be a catastrophe. Here's the genuinely surprising truth. For most of them, you would barely even notice. Let me prove it. Quick caveat. Gravity is subtle, and these effects pile up over millions of years, so I'll keep it simple. First, Mercury. Poof. And nothing. Mercury is a tiny, scorched pebble hugging the sun. It's so small and so far from us that deleting it changes your life by exactly 0. Astronomers lose a planet. You lose nothing at all. Next, Venus. Poof. Okay, this one you would actually notice, but only a little. You'd lose that brilliant point of light in the evening and morning sky. Venus is the brightest thing up there after the moon. The evening star, simply gone. And over millions of years, the tiny gravitational tug Venus had on Earth, which gently shapes our orbit and our long ice age cycles, would fade. But tonight, you would never know it had left. Now Earth. Poof. And well, that one's us. So that's a spectacularly bad day for absolutely everyone you have ever met. But let's zoom out and watch what happens to what we leave behind. The moon, which spent billions of years faithfully circling us, suddenly has nothing to circle. So it just carries on, flung into its own lonely little orbit around the sun. A brand new, very confused mini-planet. Next door, Mars. Poof. Once again, basically nothing. We lose the little red dot in the sky. We lose every rover we ever sent, and every dream of a backup planet. Science fiction takes it hard. Physics does not. So far, deleting 4 planets has not ruined a single Tuesday. But we're about to hit a planet that actually pulls its weight. A lot of it. Jupiter. Poof. Now this one matters. Jupiter is so massive it acts like the solar system's bouncer, and its enormous gravity shapes the paths of asteroids and comets all around us. Take it away, and that traffic changes. Now, whether Jupiter mostly shields us from impacts or occasionally slings things our way is genuinely debated, but either way, remove the giant and the whole neighborhood's plan changes. And in an instant, Jupiter's swarm of more than 90 moons, including the ocean world Europa, are all set free, flung loose to drift on their own. A whole family, scattered. Onto Saturn. Poof. And this is, without question, the single greatest aesthetic loss in the entire solar system. Those glorious rings, gone. Somewhere, a telescope is crying. Titan and Saturn's dozens of other moons are cut loose too. And with 2 giants now missing, the delicate gravitational balance that keeps all the outer planets in their lanes starts, very slowly, to wobble. Uranus. Poof. And honestly, nobody notices. It's so faint you can barely see it without a telescope. We have visited it exactly once, and it was already lying down on the job. The joke really does write itself. And the last planet, Neptune. Poof. It seems like nothing, way out there in the dark. But Neptune has a secret job. It is the conductor of the distant Kuiper belt. It gravitationally herds Pluto and thousands of other icy little worlds out on the frontier. Remove Neptune, and all of them lose their shepherd and slowly begin to scatter. So let's take stock. We just erased 7 planets, and we barely ruined a Tuesday. It turns out the planets are basically furniture. Beautiful, fascinating furniture, but furniture. There is, however, exactly one thing in this room that is not. The sun. We switch it off. And for the first 8 minutes and 20 seconds, absolutely nothing happens. The sky stays blue. The sun still hangs right where it was. Because its light and its gravity are still racing toward you at the speed of light. Then, all at once, 2 things happen together. The sky goes black as the very last of the sun's light sweeps past the Earth. And in that exact same instant, the invisible gravitational leash holding us in orbit is cut. With nothing left to curve its path, the Earth stops going in a circle and flies off in a dead straight line, at about 30 kilometers every second, out into deep space. And every other planet does the same, scattering like marbles knocked off a table. And then it gets cold. Fast. Within a week, the average temperature across the whole planet drops below freezing. Within a year, it's around -100. The oceans begin to freeze solid, from the surface down. Here's the one sliver of hope. The deep ocean, gently warmed by Earth's own inner heat, could stay liquid under the ice for a very long time. Strange life clustered around deep-sea vents might just hang on, in total darkness, long after the surface becomes a frozen wasteland. Earth would become a rogue planet, a dark, frozen rock, drifting silently between the stars forever. And notice the twist. The deadliest thing on our entire list was never a planet at all. It was the star. Okay, breathe. None of this can actually happen. Planets and stars do not simply vanish. Mass and energy cannot blink out of existence. And even the sun's real death is a slow, gradual event, and it is a comfortable 5 billion years away. But the tour taught us something real. You could delete all 8 planets, and the sky would barely flinch. The sun, though? The sun is the one thing quietly holding the entire family together. So it turns out it was never the planets that made this place home. It was the star. If you enjoyed watching me casually dismantle the solar system, smash that like button, subscribe to Curious Doodle, and maybe go thank the sun tomorrow morning.